Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jackie Aina. So on today's video, I'm gonna be talking about something that not even as a woman, but as a person is really embarrassing, but I've briefly talked about this subject before and I know it's gonna help people. This is really embarrassing, but I have hyperhidrosis. It's basically a condition that causes people to sweat more than the average person. You know how when you sweat when you work out, people who have hyperhidrosis, like the sweat can be triggered from anything. It could be like nerves, hormones, and yeah, you know what? It's not fun, okay? It's generally not a fun thing. Nobody likes to be that, musty Matilda that's just running around the playground smelling like God knows what, like smelling like activity. You just get roasted. But now that I'm a little bit older and it's gotten better and more controllable, I definitely want to talk about some tips on how I've gone about navigating through that and what's helped for me, what hasn't helped for me. For this video, I've also partnered with Cotton. Thank you, Cotton, first of all, for partnering with me for this video. So Cotton is launching their new comfort campaign, and it basically challenges women to be unapologetically beautiful. And I feel like this couldn't be a more fitting campaign for a video just like this. I'm getting out of my comfort zone by doing an actual video on this condition that I have. So basically, I got the chance to create my own capsule collection, and it's got a bunch of different items that are 100% cotton that you guys can pick and choose from all different price points. So today I'm getting out of my comfort zone. I'm gonna be talking about what's helped me, what hasn't helped me. And the way that cotton fit in this video is it really helped make growing up more comfortable because I knew what to wear and I knew what not to wear. The entire mission of all of this is to leave the comfort to the clothes, and I feel like I can relate to that more than you know, more than you really understand. I got hyperhidrosis from my mama. I should be cursing at her, but I'm not going to. And growing up, she always taught me one of the best ways to get relief from excess sweating under the arms, okay, I have excess sweating under the arms, is by wearing cotton clothing. And that was like the one thing that saved me. When you deal with hyperhidrosis, if you're an underarm sweater like me, you all of a sudden become an expert on clothing materials, okay? I knew what not to wear. I knew not to wear polyester. Poly and ester are some haters, man. The outfit that I'm wearing right now is 100% cotton. It is from Pretty Little Thing. It is this cute little matching, what do they call it? Matching separates. I wear these like every day to the stove. I'll be wearing these to the stove. I'll be wearing these around the house. Okay, not around the house. This is way too cute for around the house. This is just one of the items from my collection. I literally have like 3 of these. I have the pink one, I have the black one, I have the olive one, and girl, when I tell you they're so comfortable. This is what you wear when you want to look everyday cute, but you don't want to put the effort in. You put this on, throw a camo jacket over it, and you Gucci. And I'm gonna leave a link to where you can get the items from my collection down in the description box below, and I'll get a little bit more in depth as to why cotton is so important in my wardrobe and like in my everyday life, because having hyperhidrosis is literally like a lifestyle change, and I think that people don't realize that unless you have it. So if you have it and if you can relate, have a seat. I'm gonna be spilling all the tea, okay? So I had no idea there was a name for this up until like a year ago. I had no idea what hyperhidrosis was. I just thought I had a curse. Like I just thought, everybody has their genetic things, and I just felt like the sweating thing was mine. Now there's different types. Some people have excess sweating of the face, some people have the palms of the hands, some people are feet sweaters, and then there's the underarms and back. I mean, everybody's affected differently. My main one has always been just the underarms. I'm not really a hand sweater. I literally never sweat on my face. I have to be working out like really intensely. Like that one time I did SoulCycle for me to like sweat on my face. I did suffer from like excess feet sweating when I was like younger, but now it just kind of seemed to have gone away. I noticed that I had this issue as early as 9 years old. And at that age especially, kids are not that nice. I was just always sweating and I couldn't help it. It was really embarrassing and really uncomfortable. And I would literally be that one kid, like no matter how hot it was. And I grew up in the valley. I grew up in La Puente. It was I would wear like big, huge sweatshirts. I would wear like I remember I used to have this like big purple and blue puffy jacket, and my teachers used to beg me to take it off. I don't know why I was affecting them, but I was like, fam, I'm trying to block. I'm protecting you, okay? I'm looking out for you. And of course I got made fun of for it, and it was embarrassing and all of those things, but I couldn't help it. It's not like I wasn't showering. It's not like I wasn't wearing deodorant. I just could not help it. I would wear like white uniform shirts, and the armpit would be yellow. And I remember one girl being like, oh my God, your armpits are so yellow. And I'd just be like, I don't know what to do about it. I'm sorry. Like, what do I do? I wear deodorant just like y'all heifers. Dang, leave me alone. Hyperhidrosis has also affected me as I grew up. Like when I was younger, long sleeves were out of the question. Long sleeve anything. Now, if I wear something long sleeve, I'm not as uncomfortable, just because when I was younger, it was more hormonal. Whereas, why am I having such a hard time saying that word? Wow. It was more hormonal, whereas now that I'm a little bit more balanced, I'm not as triggered or affected. Usually my sweat is triggered by like if I get really nervous or like right before a big speech. Like I know you guys think that I'm just this big ball of confidence, and I'm comfortable speaking publicly, but I still get nervous, and that nervousness is usually triggered by sweat. It's the worst thing ever. I've always known to stay away from things like polyester. Polyester does not breathe at all, fam. And if you're gonna wear a long sleeve shirt, roll it up. You know, you can do that half up, half down situation. Give yourself a break, okay? Cut yourself some slack. I tend to stay away from like wet deodorants. My grandma used to insist that I wear natural deodorants, them little crystal ball things. And I'd be like, girl, that just makes me feel sweaty when I put it on. It's better now. Not the natural deodorant. Like I can use some aerosol spray deodorants. Dove has a really good one. I really like that one. Actually, it's actually for men. I steal dentists sometimes. Fight me, man. And I find that that one dries quicker, so it's not as uncomfortable to wear. But usually, like if you put a wet deodorant on under my arms, it's done deal. It's done deal. I learned growing up that deodorant and antiperspirant, or is it antiperspirant? I think it's antiperspirant. I learned that deodorant and antiperspirant are not the same thing. I think people typically use them interchangeably, but deodorant is just a scent for underarms, which is kind of a necessary, like who wants their, well, I guess it makes sense. Yeah. So make sure you're using an antiperspirant, not just a deodorant. Deodorant is just masking smell. Antiperspirant is helping to stop the smell. Antiperspirants have come a long way. The ones that I used when I was younger, like clear white cast. It was very obvious. It was very embarrassing. You couldn't wear a top like this. You know, I couldn't wear like tanks or anything. It was just like full on white, you know. It's like, why you snitching on me? We already know I'm musty. Why we gotta see evidence of it? Another little tip, and this is if you're wearing like a long sleeve shirt or like a short sleeve shirt where your underarm isn't exposed, but my mom used to always teach me to put cornstarch under there because it absorbs the sweat. So you put on your antiperspirant, as you always do, and then you take just a little bit of it, maybe even like mash it up in your hands and kind of dab it, dry up the sweat, and it works like a charm. It keeps you drier than the antiperspirant does on its own, and it's kind of like that booster, that extra security blanket that sometimes some of us really do need. One little tip, mom was the plug, I'm telling you. She cursed me with the gene, but she also passed on the hacks to deal with it. It was like, here you go, it's cute or whatever. Now I'm gonna show you how to deal with it. One thing my mom used to also teach me is taking a panty liner and putting it in the armpit of your shirt. Call it doing the most. I know it's a lot, but it actually does help. So before putting your shirt on, flip it inside out, put the panty liner in the armpit area, and then put it on. The coolest thing about this is it's not gonna help you stop sweating, but if you do start sweating, it's gonna keep the sweat from snitching on you, basically, because not only is the sweat part embarrassing, like the smell of it, but like when someone looks at you and they can see that wet ring, it's like, yeah, I know. So the panty liner basically helps absorb some of that sweat and keep it off of your shirt. If you're a hyperactive sweater, that can also stain your clothes. Panty liners can help preserve some of your clothes in that aspect as well, because it's very difficult washing that sweat out of your clothes. Another thing I wanted to share is, I know this is gonna sound really weird, but I kind of feel like the more I think about sweating, I start to sweat. Like if I keep my mind off of it, if I don't think about it, or if I don't overthink about it, I won't sweat. But the moment I'm like, oh, I think I'm cool, my armpits are like, heifer, you thought. Don't cloud your head of the thought of being sweaty or wet or moist, or just don't overthink it. I'm an overthinker. Don't overthink it. Don't stress about it. Stress definitely triggers sweating for me. I shouldn't really say sweat. It's more like anxiety, you know, like, I don't know, like let's say you're taking a quiz and right then and there you stumble upon a really, really difficult answer and you have to think quick on your feet. What's the answer? This could be the pass, or that's what triggers sweat for me. It's more like that anxiety of like quick thinking or being under the hot seat. Literally the hot seat is what triggers sweat for me. So the more I try to just mentally give myself positive affirmations and think positively and try to distract myself from whatever is making me feel like I can't defeat this, that's kind of what helps calm it down for me. It's also super important to remember that a lot of this stuff really is hormonal. So I don't know if you're out there and you're 15, 16, 17, maybe even 13, it will get better. It's very, very likely that as you get older, it will get better. It will get more controllable. Just let puberty do its thing. Your hormones are raging, you know, you just gotta go through it, okay? I'm here, trust me. It does get better. I'm here for you. I've personally never tried any prescription options. I couldn't afford health insurance because my family couldn't afford to insure all of us. I grew up in a family of 7 kids, mom and dad. We had the emergency stuff, but we never, I never got prescriptions. Or I don't know, maybe I did, I don't remember. I feel like that was very off and on. But you know what, back then, I don't even think we realized there were like prescription ways to treat stuff like that. I don't know, maybe they existed and we just didn't know about it, but I've never tried them, so I can't recommend them or speak to them. But I know there's like Drysol, there's a couple other different stuff that you can get prescribed from a doctor that a lot of people swear by, and it works for the hands, it works for the feet. I'm also going to talk a little bit about Botox. I've also opted for Botox under the arms. I remember years and years ago, people used to be like, Hollywood is so extra, y'all getting Botox under the arms to stop sweating. I remember when I first heard about that and I was like, yo, it was for me. They created it for people like me. What do you mean? I was so relieved to find out there was something that could actually help this condition that I had. So I actually tried it for myself about a year ago. You get Botox injections under your arms. It works differently for everyone. I've heard of some people doing it once a year. I've heard of some people doing it once and never sweating again. Botox is not a permanent solution. I'm on my 3rd try, I want to say. So I'm noticing with the Botox, it's something that I definitely have to keep doing, maybe every 3 months, and it's also not immediate. So you get it done and the Botox kicks in about a week later. It definitely helps a lot. It didn't completely stop the sweating, but it helped a lot, and I'm going to continue using it. It definitely helped decrease the sweat a lot, but I never had to worry about it like redirecting or going to my stomach or my abs or my back or my bum, my face, none of that. It just worked, and it worked really, really well for me. I'm probably gonna go back the next time I get it done and get a little bit more because I think I need the extra strength, a lot of Botox, you know what I'm saying? So this just need a little extra love, and that's cool. If any of you guys have had the surgery, please let me know what your thoughts are on the comments down below. I'd love to hear them. I'm not a doctor, so I can't really give medical advice, but I'm just speaking on something that I researched and definitely was like, this is the answer to my prayer. I'm gonna try it. It's definitely worth exploring. Of course, please always seek medical advice. Do research on the people that you go to when it comes to injectables and stuff like that, because that's not something that you want to just go backwoods on, because you could end up having a bigger annoyance than the sweat and a whole different problem, and you don't want that. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about, a lot of people, because I did talk about this briefly on Twitter and I asked if you guys had any questions. The top question that I got was, did I have any tips on face sweating? Now, while I am the plug and I do have plenty of tips on oily skin and like helping to control oil when it comes to like wearing makeup throughout the day, sebum and oil are definitely not the same thing as sweat glands, and because I'm not a face sweater, it's not really something that I have tips for. I'm so sorry, please don't kill me. But I do know there are products that are sweat proof. There are some sweat proof foundations. Powder is going to be your friend. I am, however, continuously working to research and find, because I would love to do like a sweat proof makeup tutorial, like going to the gym. Hey, not everybody has the option of washing their face when they go to the gym right after work. Some people go to the gym on their lunch breaks. So yes, some people do work out with makeup on. Is it ideal? No. I would love to find some tips and products that would help with people that do suffer from face sweating. So if you have any tips, holler at your girl. That could be our next upcoming video. I just wanted to say thank you again, Cotton, for letting me get kind of like out of my comfort zone with this video. It's even weird for me to talk about it, especially like a whole dedicated video. As long as it's not degrading someone or it's actually helping someone, I don't mind. I've talked about all kinds of stuff on my channel. So if it helps you, please let me know down in the comments down below. Let's chat about sweaters. Ow! Let's chat about our armpits down in the comments down below, and be sure to check out my Freedom collection. It just so happens that I really like cotton. I'm the most comfortable in cotton. So if you like what you see, feel free to check it out. I love you guys. Please don't feel like you have to be embarrassed or ashamed to talk about this topic in the comments down below. If anybody comes here trying to read us or talk crap about us, the comments are being blocked and deleted. This is a safe zone for you guys. I will hopefully see you on my next video. And I mean, I'm